Don't you see me on it? Learjet fresh, taking off at any moment. Falling on these niggas, wheels spinning through the plaza. Seen you at the bank, but you were deposited plaza. Little fella, you could never be me if I was broken, doing dope, working for hustlers, snorting coke and paying hoes. 28's a bigger nigga, 501 fresh. No more whiteies with the Nikes, they reporting how I dress. I'm kind of a big deal now. You see me in traffic, album cover everywhere. Hit up my bro and do the savage. Catch me crossing through the street, this lip is worth $1 million. Casey fitted cross my big head, women always seem to follow. That royal nigga be flashing with that Hosmer jersey on. White and blue is how we do like the Royals, I'm in the zone. Hit my phone, cause we can talk about some paper anytime. Just remember, rugs they Orphe Usos lay on my line. I be photo shoot fresh, hopping out of big shit. Candy on the frame with a badass model bitch. Photo shoot fresh, cleaner than a board of health. Kingpin swag, I'm the last real nigga left. Photo shoot fresh, hopping out of big shit. Candy on the frame with a badass model bitch. Photo shoot fresh, cleaner than a board of health. Kingpin swag, I'm the last real nigga left.
They photo shoot fresh, Royals over the Mets in New York. In New York, I keep diamonds on my wrist chain, real
It's your boy OG Nano. All right, I want to start this little exercise off on focus. Just talk about focus. Let's make it even better. Let's make it easy for us. Focus on the music. Okay, let's talk about focus on me. First thing is that you need to do. I want you to take a piece of paper out. Okay, you'll need a piece of paper, pencil, or a pen. Something to write on. In that, right quick, you want to take make a circle, and that circle should be about in the middle of that paper. Nice size circle. Should be at least 2/3 of the page. In the middle of that music, I want to write you. Just write you or me, or just put a stick man in there. All right, let's talk about the things that are important to you. So if you have a family, children, job, whatever's important, go ahead and put that in the circle. Okay, so remember we talked about music and how to focus on the music. One of the things we want to make sure we do is keep a clear, concise understanding of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and in the process of doing it, how we're going to do it. And then you can always throw in adding the people that are going to help you finish whatever you're supposed to be doing. All right, so let's talk. Look at the situation. You say, inside the circle, I'm going to put family, my children, if you have kids. I'm going to put, job, if you have a job. And those, you have to understand the rule. The rule of that, what's in that circle, is simple. If that job is important to you, if that job is a job that's a lifelong dream, then that job should be in the circle. If it's not a lifelong dream, it should not be in that circle. If it's not something that you believe is helping everyone in that circle, you shouldn't have it. Like, you shouldn't have a friend that likes you but hates your children. It's not very conducive to having a healthy growth or teaching your children to accept your friends and trust you. Because if your friends don't like your children, then you have an issue. Not saying that you can't keep them separate, but don't put them in the circle. Because the people in your circle have a rule that if they're with you, they're for your good. They do things for your good and for your benefit and for those who are in your circle. So, same reason why I wouldn't put Kanye West in my circle. Kanye West at this moment has no concern about anything that I'm doing. There's no concern. Okay. Next thing you want to focus on is, as you look at the things and evaluate and make the rules for the people that are in your circle, you want to also turn around and start saying to yourself, music, what does that mean to me? So now you have to go back and say, apply the same rule that about the circle of what's important. If music is important to you, you put music in there and you say, why? You have to start to answer these questions. Why is music important to you? Okay. Then you must start elevating or evaluating what that means. If music is important to you, you put them in the music in the circle. Do you want to progress in music? Now, same way with your children, you're just going to grow with them. See, there's an elevation to that. Like, do you want to? If you thought, do I want my child to be the first president, or do I want my child to be a president of the United States of America? Do I want them to be an astronaut? Do I want them to do? What do I want them to do? Then you have to start asking those elevated type questions like, okay, well, how, why, who can help me, what process? Then you have another type of circle or a list that you have to start checking off to attain those goals. Okay, meaning saying this: if you want to increase your focus on making better music, so let's just go with your hip hop artist. Okay, so you have your personal circle together. You understand who around you can trust, who loves you, who's supporting you. You understand that. Okay. Now there's the music. So now you have to figure out, how do I make the music better? Do I want to make the music better? Do I want the music as a hobby? What do I want to do as far as to make the music, I guess, put into the category of elevation, which means now I'm a rapper. I rap. Do I want to go to school for English to learn wordplay? What do I want to do? Do I want to thesaurus? Do I want to study the whole dictionary so I can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of words at my disposal? Do I want to learn a thesaurus back and forth? Do I want to learn everything, wordplay, how to make words? Those things are what's important when you start trying to elevate and make your raps better. Now, if you just want to be a hip hop guy or hip hop girl, you just want to, make a few rhymes here and there, and it's more of a hobby, fine. Because now then you're great. You don't have to adhere to anything about elevation. You can stay in your level. You put that in your circle, and it's just a hobby during the weekend. People go to shooting range. People go to basketball courts, and they do things as a hobby. It's not professional. And there's no need to elevate. There are people who throw darts. There are people who play pool. It's just a hobby. There's no elevation. There's no need for advanced studies. There's no need for hooking up with people who are doing this. And you don't need to do anything but just, enjoy. It's a hobby. Okay? Now let's talk about something else. So let's say this. You want to elevate your music, and you want to focus on your music and make sure your focus is better and stronger. So how are we going to do that? One of the first things we're going to do is now we got to go to another rule. How do you want to change? Do you want to change? If you want to, then you must adhere and change from these levels, because these are the levels that you are. In the beginning, you're a hobbyist. It's just a freestyle. You're just chilling. Okay? No pressure on you to do anything. You're freestyling. So now you want to elevate. The next elevation from freestyler is to say you're an artist. An artist now starts saying, I do this, I have this flow, I have a signature. Then that gets important. Okay? After that part of, saying it's just a hobby, now you're a rapper. Okay? That's still not serious enough. You might want to go to the next level, which is a recording artist. Now, a recording artist is something totally different from a rapper or just an artist. A recording artist says, I want to record to make money. Okay? There's another level after that. After recording artist, is that more serious level saying you don't want to be a worker, you want to be a boss. Which means now, to be a boss, you must become a record label. Okay? Which takes different kinds of focus. To focus to be an hobbyist doesn't require focus. Let's just do it. We don't care about your structure pattern, your song pattern, or structure of your songs, or we don't care about the content of the song. Just freestyling, or it's a hobby, When you become a recording artist, now all those things become present. Front and center, saying, okay, how do you look? What is your appearance? Do you have social media? It's important now. Do you have fans? How do you engage your fans? Okay? Now, those things start changing. You need to start focusing on the paper. You're going to start saying, write down the 3 levels. There's 4 levels, but the 4th level, the basic level, it's not even anything to consider. So you got to start saying, you want to be an artist? Okay, an artist start having a look. of a recording artist. He just does not do it for money. You know. So you want to be a recording artist? Now that's recording for money. You start changing. You need to write down these things you're gonna need to work on. To be a recording artist, okay, let's go back to levels. The level of artist, recording artist, record label. Okay? So that's the 3 things you want to focus on. You figure out which one you want to do, and you attack them. If you say, great, I have no problem becoming a recording artist, I want to do that. So to become a recording artist, then you must start doing what I consider small steps of promotion, which is karaoke nights. You want to go to the nightclubs. You want to go to any kind of venue that performing in your genre. If you're country, you want to go to country clubs. If you're kid music, you want to go to, kid-friendly places. If you want to be a jazz, you're going to go to jazz-friendly places. So you want to look at your genre and say what it is. So my genre, I said earlier, was a rapper that we had picked for the rapper. He wants to go to nightclubs. He want to go, especially if it's an appropriate, age appropriate. He want to go to places that will allow him to do karaoke, freestyle, open mic type thing. And then he'll start perfecting his craft. He'll start getting exposure. You may need a manager. You may need a publicist. You may need people that can help you get the word out about who you are. You may need a street team. Street team is people that have no problem hopping in the car with you or without you, passing out flyers or apparel or things of that nature, ink pens, whatever it is with your name on it, and to get your word out, whether it's CDs, blanks, whatever it is, they're going to get your word out, pass out to the masses. And everybody know that the 1-to-4 marketing ratio is simple. If you pass out 5 flyers, and those 5 flyers are interested, we multiply by 4, because that's the 1-to-4 marketing ratio. So when we multiply by 4, that's 20 people that will have your product, will be influenced by your product. Where we really only gave it out to 5, but you got to remember that those 5 people told somebody else, man, I just got this flyer from this amazing rapper. I went to the site on my phone. Man, that music is dope. I immediately downloaded it or bought it. Okay? So after we do that, after you get a street team, you start working to get on these levels of becoming a great recording artist. You get a great team. You get a great producer. Producers are very important in this whole procedure because most producers produce beats. They produce the tracks that you can record on. The next step is an engineer. An engineer is very important when you become a recording artist because you need someone to record the song and to make the song sound great. Not just great on one system, but on pretty much all systems, okay? And finding them are pretty hard. You may find a combination of the two, which is an individual that is very rare, but good to do. I always warn people about producers. Many producers are not musically inclined. If you have a producer that's not very musically inclined, it's going to be kind of hard for you. Unless that music producer has no problem being elevating his game. Because once again, there's levels to the game. So now you get yourself a good producer, good engineer. You can create a good product that you put out and people love it. Now you'll start seeing your fan base grow. The more people your street team get together, touch, the more your social media validates who you are and what you're about. A lot of people don't understand that concept. The concept of validation. Okay. Social media is not the creator. I've never believed that social media creates you. Social media validates you. Whether you're Coke, Pepsi, whoever, or Volkswagen. Social media validates you. So if I buy, which I have, purchased a Volkswagen, okay? So we love it. It's very comfortable. We love the way it's engineered. We love the ease of the controls. We drive it, okay? So when we drive it, we go on the internet and we tell people, hey, buy Volkswagen. I love Volkswagen. I love Volkswagen. That is what they consider the validator. When you go on the internet and people on the internet are saying, yeah, Volkswagen, man, my man drove a Volkswagen. Look, he said Volkswagen is great. That validates you. It doesn't necessarily create you. You have to have the product built yourself, then it validates you. So what I'm saying is, they built the Volkswagen. I went and validated that the Volkswagen was a car that you should buy. You should trust that brand. Okay? As an artist, the same thing happens. You create the song at home. You go on the streets, you pass it out, you share it, you perform it, you record it, you do all the things you need to do as an artist that's recording, a recording artist. And then people on the social media will say, wow, that's the greatest artist. All right. Hey, I love that song. That's how you get validated. It doesn't create you, it validates you. So from Soulja Boy to whoever, everybody knew that you were doing it. Now they're going to validate that you're doing it. Okay? So just think about a couple levels. Focus on what you need to do. And I'm telling you again, once again, I hope any artist that's listening to this, do not get caught up with the social media trap of saying that you're going to go to social media and promote. A lot of artists can't understand the concept of social media and the weaknesses and the pitfalls of social media. One pitfall is, if you want to reach a lot of people and there's a guy that says, I'm going to promote you, you have to remember that if you're going to, whatever your genre is of style of rap, he has to be able to promote that style of rap. It'll be almost as crazy as saying, you're in the church, you're a pastor, you do sermons, they're recorded, you want to go out and tell the world you're the greatest recording minister or spiritual speaker out there. And this promoter who predominantly does pornography is going to promote you. That's the disconnect and understanding of a promoter. Just because someone says they're a promoter doesn't mean they're going to be able to promote for you. If you're a Republican and you have a Republican network and you've been a great Republican campaign manager, it is going to be very hard for you to now switch gears and say, I'm going to be an independent. I'm going to be a campaign manager for an independent. That independent has to have the understanding that, wait, there's a disconnect between you and the independent base, because you're a Republican. The same way if you want to be a Democrat or anything else, it's your base. So if you're a hip hop artist, it is going to be very hard for you to promote anyone that does R&B, country, alternative, jazz, new age rock, or EDM. So as an artist, as a manager, or as a label, you must understand that trap and understand that just because someone, and then another thing you have to remember, social media numbers. Social media numbers have a good thing. Some of them are false, some of them are positive, some of them are in between. Okay. But before a promoter can promote you, you need to ask him, well, if you're on Twitter, I need to see your analyticals. Send me a list of your impressions. Impressions just mean, if you have an impression and they say, well, your tweet is, because Twitter does it very well. It breaks it down to something like, it tells you how many times your tweet was seen. Okay. Then it tells you an engagement rate, meaning engagement is very important because it says how many people clicked that tweet. So you got this bomb, great song out, or great album, this project, and you got a promoter promoting it. He's on Twitter and he posts it or tweets it, and one person engages and clicks the link and follows through the link. So you can assume now, you don't know for sure, that person followed the link and listened to the song. You're going to assume that, okay? Now you can always come on your end, come up with a page counter that counts the unique visitors to your website on the other end of your site or the link that you gave them. You won't be able to do that for music digital distribution companies like or music providers like iTunes or whatever. You don't know how many people came to your viewed your profile. Sometimes I know Spotify breaks down a lot of analyticals to tell you where your song is played, stuff like that, but they don't really tell you how many people visit your page. Okay, but you can do that if you have your own website. You can create that. Okay. So this breakdown says You have one person click the link, and you had a few people share it, and then you had three impressions. So that promoter can send you that, so you can make a valid, or your manager, or publisher, whoever can make a very good reasoning behind dealing with this promotion. Most people don't even understand that. I always tell people, like on my Twitter, I have over 1 million followers. Okay, I understand that just because I have 1 million doesn't mean I'm going to make $1 million. Okay, you have to learn how to get the money out of the people and provide a product that they'll buy. Some people don't go to your page to buy anything. They may go to see a tweet. I sell products and stuff like that, and I don't get very many sales. One reason is because I play a lot of music too. So you have a person with millions and millions of tweets, and some people can't see the tweets because there's so many tweets coming, because I have a radio station connected to it. Okay, so, but if you wanted to get impression from me, you're gonna get millions. You're gonna get hundreds of thousands a day. You're gonna get your song in front of the eyes. Now the next part is the engagement. I can't guarantee that they'll click a link, but they'll see your tweet. They'll see that song. And if that's what you want, that's the type of person you want to get your music out, because it'll be seen. Being seen is like when they put your advertisement on a bus, and that bus is going through the neighborhood. That's visibility. It doesn't mean that you're going to say, "Oh my God, I see that. Let me go on the internet, look it up, and click and buy it." It just means that those impressions, that there's an ideology that if more people see it, sooner or later they will buy it. The more eyes. That's why you have stadiums that get licensing deals from major companies, because they want to put their product everywhere. So when you go to the football game of 30 to 40,000 people sitting there, and all they see is Coke or Nike or Producer 90, after a while they will buy it. And that's a good thing to think, because it can and will happen. Okay? So think about some of the things when you're dealing with these with promoters or people like that. And not all of them are great for you. That's the hardest. And then this is another thing too. A lot of people don't understand the money factor. Whenever a promoter or online guy says, "Yeah, man, I can help you I can get your music out there," a lot of them are just saying that so they can get your money. See, there's no guarantee that they're going to get your music out there. Some people say, "I'm gonna put your music on all these mixtape sites." Well, you have to understand that as a recording artist, those are things that are negative. See, those are things you put into your music focus. And once you change to become a recording artist, everything you do is for money. So SoundCloud, any free site that allows you to put your music up for free, but yet doesn't allow you to make money off of your music, that's a no-go. Anywhere people can download your music for free, unhindered or without compensation, that's a no-no. So DatPiff, Live Mixtapes, sites of that nature, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, or no. If you do put your music on any kind of site, it's for a 30-minute snippet, a 30-second snippet. It's for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's it. And technically, you don't even need those, because you can just go ahead and put them on SoundCloud, and they can listen. I mean, not SoundCloud. You can go to Spotify. You can go ahead and go to Deezer, Slacker, and put your music on known sites with known apps, and then let the people listen to it and still get paid. Of course, you didn't have to understand pay scale, stuff like that, but that's for another conversation. But this conversation is about just focusing on the music, your music, and what you want to do. So it's not a lot that you have to do, but once you determine you're going to be a hobby or a recording artist, once you say you want to be a recording artist, then yeah, you do need to start studying. Yes, you need to understand wordplay. Yes, you do. You need to work on your craft, because no matter how you start out, if people do like you, they're going to expect some type of elevation. Some of them will rebuff against the elevation too. You got a lot of people that said they don't like E40. They like E40 when he was this. They don't like E40 now. Well, E40 was a drug dealer. When he kind of got away from the drugs, now he's more commercial, as they say. Well, commercial just means I'm trying to make money off my music. That's my opinion. When you say, somebody say, "Oh, you just commercial," that's when you're trying to make money. What's wrong with making money? And there's no different from the music. It was just in the beginning, I probably talked about more stress, more things that I experienced. And then all of a sudden I blew up. Like, you never see the thing about hip hop or rappers. You know, that's a different perspective and different focus and different things that come about. In the beginning, you would never hear anybody say that I like Michael Jackson in the beginning versus I like him in the end. But as a rapper, you get a plenty of that. Lil Wayne is one of those guys that gets it. I mean, he gets, man, listen, this dude has to be one of the hardest working young men ever to exist. If he was running track, he'd be a Hall of Famer. If he was playing football, Hall of Famer. Baseball, Hall of Famer. Broadcasting, Hall of Famer. Movies, Hall of Famer. But in the rap game, a lot of people don't even want to consider him in the top 10. That's crazy. I mean, Lil Wayne is in the top 5 all greatest hip-hop artists. And the saddest thing is that guys like Tupac and Biggie are being left in the wind because he's still alive. He's still making great music. He just dropped a great album, Dedication 6. The only thing about the album is he has to go back and reconnect with the younger fans. See, he grew up with everybody. He grew up with a 15-year-old. So by the time he's 20, he have to realize he has to go back and reinvent himself to a younger fan base. He has to have a connection to that younger fan base. He doesn't have a connector like Jay-Z does. So you have to have a connector that takes you back a generation or two, keeps you going back. You know what I mean? Aerosmith, they're still doing their thing, and because they have connectors, they keep taking them back to the younger age. Their fan bases keep passing. Hey, pass this on. Here, Janie got a gun. Okay, now you're 12. Here, love, Janie got a gun. You notice that in rock and roll, there's no such thing as that. Everybody, they loves your whole body of work. In the rap game, you have a lot of young people that just don't gravitate. They don't know how to grow with an artist. So therefore, they're not going to say, Lil Wayne from 14 to now is the bomb. They're not going to buy the whole catalog. They're only looking for temporary. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, they go from one artist to the next artist. You know, and a lot of times because when they get an artist, he falls off. He's not compared to a great. So then they go to another guy. They go from, okay, I love Future. Now Future's fell off. Now I'm on 2 Chainz. Well, 2 Chainz falling off. I'm going to Young Thug. Dang, Young Thug falling off. Now I'm on Lil Uzi Vert. And they go to these guys. I don't know if I got the name right, but they keep going to different people because they're not like the older people who said, well, I grew up on Lil Richard. Love Lil Richard. I grew up on Prince. Love Prince. I grew up on Diana Ross. Love Diana. I don't care what Diana drops. She just drops something, love it. They're more critical, as if saying, if it ain't popping right now, I'm done. And when you listen to Lil Wayne, you hear his wordplay. It's unparalleled. It's unparalleled. It's just like too much knowledge, too many words, too many combinations, you know. But anyway, going back to say this, but you elevate, figure out what you want to do, get your focus. I'm telling you right now that if you start beginning to take your music and focus on the things that make you good, learning how to take away distractions, learn how to evaluate your producer to see if he has musical talent, evaluate your engineer for sound quality. Not how good it sounds in the studio, but how good it sounds on your cheap headphones, expensive headphones, in the car, that type thing. Evaluate the people who are saying they're going to promote your product. Look at their track history. Validate it. If somebody says, well, you know, I'm with Sony Red, man, I'm Ivy Leaf Empire. Validate what that means. Validate. You get a contract to help you become a better recording artist, so somebody's going to sign you to a record deal, then evaluate, double check, make sure there's an exit clause. Those are things that are important. You know what I mean? One of the things I'm saying about that is you want to make sure they're important. You mess around and get a contract and it ain't a good contract, and it's a contract that binds you too long, guess what happens? Now your recording career may be over with. Okay? So just stay focused. I hope you can take some of these tips, get your and help you with what you're doing as far as music. But you do want to focus on your music and focus on your craft. Learn how to write better lyrics. Learn better sentence structure. Study it. Go on the internet. Go dictionary. Go to the library. Find books on words. Read wordplay. Look at rhyme schemes. all of those type things, and eliminate the distractions. Like I said, in those circles, you have rules of why they're in that circle. If you have a music circle, so this guy's in my circle to help me expand my brand, this. The moment he does not do those things, he has to be outside of that circle. Everybody on the outside of the circle doesn't give a damn what you're doing on the inside. They don't care if you're great. So I equate this like this. In my house, I have children that live outside of my house. So I put them outside the circle. Yeah, they can come by, but I understand that they may not give a damn by walking in my house with their shoes on. They may not give a damn if we have sugar. They may not give a damn that if I have gas, because they're not going to come by and say, Dad, you got gas? Here. So that's what I'm saying to you. Stay focused. All right? It's your boy, Producer 90. God bless. Talk to you later. Hope you stay focused. Need any other questions? You can always email me at nine@theunder.us. Let me see what I can help you with.
Don't you see me on it? Leah jet fresh, taking off at any moment. Falling on these niggas, wheels spinning through the plaza. Seen you at the bank, but you were depositing plaza. Little fella, you could never be me if I was broken, doing dope, working for hustle, snorting coke and paying hoes. 28's a bigger nigga, 501 fresh. No more whiteys with the Nikes, they reporting how I dress. I'm kind of a big deal now. You see me in traffic, album cover everywhere. Hit up my bro and do the sack. Catch me crossing through the street, this limp is worth $1 million. My big head women always seem to follow. That royal nigga be flashing with that Hosmer jersey on. White and blue is how we do like the Royals. I'm in the zone. Hit my phone, cause we can talk about some paper anytime. Just remember, rugs they are fake, or fake oozes lay on my line. I be photo shoot fresh, hopping out of big shit. Candy on the frame with a badass model bitch. Photo shoot fresh, cleaner than a board of health. Kingpin swag, I'm the last real nigga left. Photo shoot fresh, hopping out of big shit. Candy on the frame with a badass bitch. Photo shoot fresh, cleaner than a board of health. Kingpin swag, I'm the last real nigga left.
They photo shoot fresh, Royals over the Mets in New York. In New York, I keep diamonds on my wrist chain grill while you puffin' on new cards. Them new cards, you niggas bumming cigarettes. My goons are pop tags, popping rubber bands on bands. Will crack your mask. Hand over foot, will give you the business. You're exhausted trying to catch up, my niggas is living. Mixed plate, we love Gates. You pussies too efficient like Green Bay, Michael Bay. We tasting that film money. You the type of nigga come over and steal from me like a crash test dummy. You dumber than what you look, dumber than what I thought you America's dumb crook. We got several stash spots, blueprints to get paper. I put candy on the whip, some now, some late. Some people are just haters, they don't wanna see me blow. But your baby mother love me, she don't wanna see me go. She know that I murder features, fuck a gift, Ebenezer. You loving that motherfucker, we chasing that Velveeta.
Yes, sir. Fresh, hopping out of big shit. Candy on the frame with a badass model bitch. Photo shoot fresh, cleaner than a board of health. Kingpin swag, I'm the last real nigga left. Photo shoot fresh, hopping out of big shit. Candy on the frame with a badass model bitch. Photo shoot fresh, cleaner than a board of health. Kingpin swag, I'm the last real nigga left. Take a picture, I'm one hell of a nigga. And this bitch with me is Nikki. She likes to menage. I'm a guy that still roll with a thunder rhyme. I'm flashy. Top probably back on that plastic dick with cheap ass. Doors go up like elevators, like chops of levitation. Me and Money G be the two that have to resuscitate. You smell the money when we fall in the spot. Your girl's eyes like your man's phone at home on lock. Timepiece, match the cashmere fleece. I'm no geek. Earlobes look like a disc. I'm talking like two a piece. Capiche? I'm at the meals like me. So when I slide through the streets, it's KC. The game code, I move with 2 heat. Yellow boy, nappy head, not a wave at all though. And I don't fuck with y'all, so what the fuck I'm a wave for? Throw me down, nigga. On everything, I'm about mine, and I don't want nothing to do with it if it don't shine. I be photo shoot fresh, hopping out of big shit.